Parasomnias are undesirable occurrences during sleep. They all occur precisely because waking, non-REM sleep, and REM sleep are not all or nothing unitary states. Rather, components of one state can intrude or overlap into another. There are two major categories: non-REM sleep parasomnias, which occur when the brain is partially in non-REM sleep and partially awake, and REM sleep parasomnias, which occur during REM sleep and usually during the second half of the night when REM sleep is more prominent. There are 5 parasomnias that occur when the sleeper is partially in non-REM sleep and partially awake. Non-REM sleep parasomnias. The first one, confusion arousals, occur when waking up. They are more common in children, about 16%, than adults, about 4%. These arousals generally involve general confusion. Where am I? What's going on? Lack of responsiveness, crying, flailing of the arms and legs, sometimes even violence. Episodes generally last 5 to 15 minutes. Sufferers have no subsequent memory of what happened. Treatments involve getting more sleep, also because they happen more often when one wakes by his or herself. Scheduled awakenings sometimes help. This involves waking the person about 15 minutes before they typically wake up. In more extreme cases, when other treatments fail, medication can be prescribed. Number 2, somnambulism is otherwise known as sleepwalking. This is not what most people think it is. So unlike the stereotype, sleepwalkers do not walk with their arms out in front of them and with their eyes closed. Sleepwalkers are not acting out their dreams. This is something very different called REM behavior disorder. In fact, sleepwalking begins during non-REM sleep, not REM sleep. So they are not even dreaming. At the most, they're experiencing mentation. Finally, sleepwalking is not related to psychopathology. Sleepwalking usually begins with sufferers sitting up in bed with a glazed look on their face. They may begin to clumsily pick at the covers, dress or undress, while sometimes mumbling incoherently. The next step is getting out of bed and walking around the room, house, yard, or even the neighborhood. Most instances last 1 to 15 minutes, but some have been documented at over an hour. Movements appear purposeless, and sleepwalkers tend to trip, bump into things, and knock things down. Injuries to the self can occur, but violence against others is rare. There is a genetic component to sleepwalking established by twin studies. It is linked to stress and very deep sleep, M3, with higher than normal percentage of delta waves. There is also a link to anxiety disorders and certain medications. Contrary to the myth, waking up a sleepwalker is rarely dangerous. However, it can cause him or her confusion and defensiveness, so sometimes people prefer to let them continue and simply keep them out of harm's way. Sleepwalking is outgrown over time, thus it is most common in small children, less likely in adolescents, rare in adults, and virtually does not appear to occur in elderly. While waiting for one to outgrow sleepwalking, steps can be taken to assure their safety. For instance, you can take steps to prevent them from leaving the house. You can reduce their stress, and if their episodes are potentially dangerous, have medications prescribed. Although sleepwalking rarely involves violence against others, could criminals try to use it as a legal defense? Certainly in the United States, one can only be responsible for a criminal act if they know what they are doing. Interestingly, those who are prone to sleepwalking can be induced to do so when sleeping, while those who are not thus prone cannot be. Combine this with the fact that somnambulism only occurs in M3, and it is impossible to fake delta brainwaves. Thus, some criminals have tried to fake such a defense and failed because it is easy to identify a false claim in a sleep lab. On the other hand, sleepwalking in some rare cases has resulted in violence. Again, this is easily verified in the sleep lab. Then, instead of being prosecuted for a crime, the person is required by law to get professional help for their sleepwalking problem.